Welcome to Control and Compete. Today we're joined by Craig Eddy. How you doing, mate?
Hello, mate. I'm very good. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Craig, when was that I first met you then? Like, we met through a mutual friend, wasn't it?
It was through Emma Gray, and that was, how long ago was that? That was like about 3 years.
Aye.
Feels like 3 years.
Yeah, and then you came up and you done some content for us when we were doing the kind of Rocket League tournaments. So are you still into your gaming then?
I am still. It's well for a while because for the past like year and a half, I've had to take like a step back from music and stuff because of my ear troubles and stuff. So then I was genuinely convinced that I was going to become a pro gamer at one point.
When
Rocket
was
League.
that? When were you convinced of that?
That was maybe about a year ago.
Alright, so since we met?
Pretty much. So I was like, well, I can't do the music. I don't know if I can't see myself getting any better with that. So I was like, Ken, what? I'm going to pick something I'm going to commit to.
Right.
I was like, I'm going to be a pro heat seeker player on Rocket League. And me and my mate, we played it all the time. And to be honest, we're quite up there. But then my ears started sort of getting a bit better. And I was like, maybe I should just do what I'm
So hold on a minute, right? So yeah, we'll talk about that. So at one point you're like, oh, I can't be a musician anymore, and do you tell your family that? And like, what are you going to do, Craig? I'm just going to sit and put the Xbox on. I'm just going to play Rocket League.
Well, I never told my mum because she would have absolutely freaked out. But then that's the thing though. I've always been the type of person to like. I think I've been through probably in the past year and a half, like maybe 4 or 5 phases of like I taken up snooker, and I was like, came out, I'm gonna be a pro snooker player.
Yeah.
And then the Rocket League, and then I was going to start my own podcast, and I was like, I'm going to be a pro podcaster. And I think it's just part of my personality. Where like I can't just sort of just do something just for fun. I need to
get right into
I need to get right into it, and I need to be like the sort of best in the world, or just be like a pro at it. And it's
so say with the snooker, for example, right? So you say yourself, I'm a pro snooker player. Like, how far do you commit to doing that? Like, what kind of preparation have you done for it? Just talk about some of the things you've looked into. I'm going to do that. How do you start with it then?
Well, I went in. I'm pretty sure I actually started off with a game because I was on the PlayStation Store, and there was I was just looking through the free games, and there was a game called Blitz Snooker. I think it was
I'm
called.
all over that. I'm on it the mobile. I was even telling the producer about
it's
that.
It's brilliant, and I was playing it, and I was like, Kim, I'm pumping everyone I play here. I think I'm quite natural at this, and obviously it tells you exactly where you're potting and everything.
Yeah.
And
do you know what? You hear what you can do? Right? I was saying my little girl, I actually got this big ruler in the house, right? And I had it up against the telly, and I was aiming my shots with that because you couldn't do it in your mobile, but then you could do it like that. Did you ever try that move?
I've not tried that, but I might need to try that.
That's a good one.
But I was like, I convinced myself that I was just like, I had like a natural knack for snooker, and then I went in because my dad's like he's in like tournaments and stuff for snooker.
Right.
So I went in and played with him.
Oh, so there's a bit of a link there.
Yeah, so there's a bit of a link there. So that I went in and I played a couple of games, and then I putted a few, and I was like, I convinced myself again, like I've putted like 2 in like 2 hours, so I'm brilliant.
Right.
And then I started going in myself, playing like maybe like for like 2 or 3 hours a day, and then about 2 weeks in, I was like, all right, I'm not getting any better here. And then I kept on going in for like a wee bit longer, and I was like, right, I'm pissed, next thing. So, and then what else was it? I just go through all these phases.
Where do you think you get that from? Having that, like, because some folk will think I like that, and I might think I like that, but I never think to myself, maybe I should. I'm going to go and be the best at that.
I think it's probably just because I've got ADHD, so that probably is just highly linked to that. Where it's like I get really engrossed in something, or like I could do something for like maybe like 2 or 3 weeks, and then I get like bored of it, and then I need like the next sort of bit of stimulation, and then anything that sort of comes up where I'm like, oh, that sounds exciting, then I throw my full life into it. So that's why I'm just like a walking sort of. I just know like kind of loads of facts about loads of different things, but then no like a sort of snooker trophy or that to show for it.
That's a tricky one, eh? And so for the music though, I mean, I suppose with the music then, like, how did you get involved in music then?
Well, my dad was always like I've been brought up in music and stuff. Like my dad was always playing music. Like
What was he playing?
Well, he was like that was the chair, by the way. I never farted.
That's fair enough.
That was that was what was I saying there?
No, your dad influences music,
Aye, my dad loves like Stevie Wonder,
right?
Wet Wet Wet, and they were always just playing like around the house. I was always around music, and
So,
he was at gigging and stuff all the time, and
what did he play as well?
he played as well. Like he had a band, and he was like doing like loads of weddings and like clubs and stuff, and he was like doing really well, and I guess it just felt really natural because I can remember the first time I think I'd ever sung. I can't remember. My granny said I was maybe like 5 or 6, and I was in like a shopping centre, and I started singing "Hero" by Enrique
I
Iglesias.
do want to say "Love Is All Around."
Love is, but to be fair, I did sing that day when I was about 8 or 9. I think my dad, he picked me up to the mic and I started singing that.
Oh, if he's a Wet 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 fan, that sounds gold record, that one, eh?
But I remember I started singing "Hero" by Enrique Iglesias in the shopping centre, and then everyone like sort of started like crowding round apparently. So I was told I can't mind it much. Well, I can't mind
If your
it at all.
gran says it, that's what
But
happens.
if my granny could say that the sky's green, then the sky's green.
Yeah, fair.
And that was like my first sort of ever experience. And I think just as time went on, like I was singing, and then I can remember being at my cousins and at my pals, and they were like, go and sing for folk. And I must have been about like 10 or 11. And I could never look at anybody in the eye, or I could never like have them looking at me. So I would tell them to like shut the door. So I'd shut the door and then I would sing, and then they were like, "Oh, you're brilliant."
That's brilliant. Next one, Craig.
That's brilliant, Craig. But that's how that sort of went. And then I think when I turned about 13 or 14, that was when I got my first ever guitar. My grandpa got me that. And my mum went absolutely mental at him because he'd spent a lot of money on it.
Right. What was it? Electric, acoustic?
Acoustic. And I've always been known for like sort of going between like loads of things, and I've been like that since I was a wee boy, like going through these phases of like wanting to be a snooker player, wanting to like be like a race car driver, wanting to be just all these things. So then obviously when my grandpa bought me the guitar, my mum was like, "Why are you spending that much money on a guitar? He's just going to play it for 2 weeks, and he's just going to no touch it again." And it was one of the only things, or one of the only phases you could say that I've just never let go, because once I started playing
it's so vast, isn't it?
it was.
There's so much to it that you, and the creative freedom that you would like, you know.
Because I think it was just, as soon as I picked it up really, really fast, and I got in for school and I just couldn't wait to get home just to sit on the edge of the bed with the guitar, and I was probably playing it for like 6 or 8 hours a day.
Really?
Just sitting, playing, covering songs.
What songs did you cover? Like, what were you into? Like, obviously, what can you remember? Like, being a teenager, what did you like?
The two very first songs that I learned all the way through was the 18 by Ed Sheeran and Wonderwall by Oasis, and then Don't Look Back in Anger. I think the first video I'd ever uploaded was, what was the first one? It must have been Wonderwall or Don't Look Back in Anger. But I was on Skype with my mate, and he was like, I was like, "Look, I've been learning to play guitar and I've been learning to sing," and then I sung on the Skype or whatever it was at the time. And he was like, "No, that's brilliant, you should upload that." And I was like, and he was always known for like being a bit of he like just ripping the piss. So I was like, "Oh, he's just doing this just to fucking make a fool of me."
Yeah, so you can share it.
So then I uploaded it, and then I can mind like the video, that must have been like 2014 or something, and it went pretty viral, and I was like, "Oh, what the fuck?" And I went into school, and then folk were like, "That was really good," because I was dreading going into school, because you tell me what it's like. I was like, "Oh, fuck, I'm going to get the piss ripped out of me here." But everyone was like, it was really, really good. So I just kept on uploading for there, and then I started just writing just a lot more, and then finding that I had a bit of a knack for that.
How do you do that? How do you go about, like, I make up wee songs with my girl in the car, but how do you actually go about, like, is it just a hook? Is it a wee bit of a song that you, how do you write a song?
For me, it's weird, because I could just be sitting there, and like, or I could even get an idea just pop in when we were talking. Like you could say something, and then just an idea just sort of comes from somewhere, like a lyric or a line or a melody, and then I would just pretty much, I've got the voice notes on my phone, I would just record that no matter where I was, whether it be like the lyrics or the melody, and then I would go home, I'd pick up the guitar, and it's different every time, because sometimes I start with a melody, or I'll try and turn the lyrics just into the melody, so I could have like a da 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 da, and then I would just sort of go, I don't wanna, I don't love till I know, I don't want and I want you, and then it's sort of, I try to turn those sort of sounds into lyrics, and I would end it with like, said a mumble there like, I don't think I want you, I don't think I want you, I just think I need you, and I would just sort of just go like that, and then I would just build it for there.
And always the music comes first, because what was quite disappointing to me is like Mike Patton from Faith No More once said that he doesn't really care about the lyrics. He was like, he would get the back of cigarette packets, and sometimes he would just find random stuff lying about, and he would put that in the lyrics. So like, I don't know, maybe if you're a fan of it, you think there's a meaning to it, but do you find that you're trying to find the word sometimes to fit it rather than the opposite way?
I think, because I can be really pedantic with it, because I can find a word that phonetically fits really well and it rounds off the tongue really well, but then, or a lyric, but then I'm like, it doesn't make sense, but it sounds good, but then I've got that sort of, that battle of like, right, should I just try and find another lyric that does make sense, or just go with the one that just sounds good? And I always end up going with the lyric that makes the most sense, which it can be annoying, because there's a lot of songs that should have taken about maybe like an hour, and they've taken like a month, because I've been trying to just like get the perfect sort of.
And is that, and in your head, right, is that perfect to you, or is that in your head perfect to the people that are listening? Does that make sense?
It used to be so that it was like perfect to other people. And I've been really, over the past like year and a half, I've been really focused on learning how to write and just do stuff for me. Like even out with sort of like music and stuff, just learning how to live just for me and to write for me, and that's, I feel as if, where I get my best work, because when I'm writing, I got into the habit of, whenever I was going into writing sessions or stuff before, like the label would give whatever writer or producer I was working with, like almost like a breakdown of like, right, it should sound like this, here's 5 songs it should sound like, here's some lyric.
How did that feel then? Did you hear that?
I didn't like that at all. And
who is going to like that?
I know, it was weird, because it's just.
And is there a promised land? Is there a thing that says to you, Craig, look, bang at this album, make it like this. That does well, you can do what you want. The album 2, 3. Is that the way?
It's pretty much the way it works. But luckily, because I'd found a writer and producer called Dan, who he got that, and he was like, nah, let's just find what you want to write. And then since then, it's just been like, I just, when I'm writing, it's just I'm no thinking of anyone else, or like if I write a lyric, I'm no like, oh, folk will love this. It's like, no, I really resonate with that, and I really like that, so I'm going to go with that, and like the melodies and the genres, and just the sound itself. Like it's always, you've got to be. I've kind of found that you've got to be a bit no selfish, but just go with it. Just what you like, pretty much.
Yeah, Ed Sheeran's a good example of that, because like when you see him, for example, I know you mentioned him earlier, but his career's went. He's tried loads of stuff, rapping, everything, like some of the dance music as well. So I suppose he's got that freedom now, but his core fans might be like, that's not that kind of.
Well, I think that's where, well, again, like even me jumping from sort of like career to career to hobby, that also is pretty much how my writing and stuff goes, because I could write like.
You're going to get excited about it,
because I would just, or like whatever I'm listening to that time, because I didn't really have, like, a lot of people have like a genre that they love it, like they would pick a genre that just, that's what they love, whereas I'm sort of all over the place. I can't really, again, I would just get bored of listening to the same genre sort of thing all the time.
I say, I've got like a Spotify playlist, it's like 56 hours long, and it's just everything. And if I find new tunes, I'll add to it, and 60s music to soul, to rock, to rap, to pop, but like, Was there any, here's one for you, is there any genres that you don't really dig? Like, is there any ones that you don't kind of like? And I'm not saying you wouldn't listen to a song and it might get you, but off, like, if you had to say to you, that's like, you know, rock's there, what's here? Or what, maybe not saying rock's there for you, right? But do you know what I mean? Like,
Try to think, because I know that even if I never liked a certain type of genre the new, there is a high chance I will end up liking it. Sort of like.
And if you do like it, opens up the door to a lot of music.
I know, and if I was to say no, oh, I fucking hate that, and then I end up writing that song. And then,
like jazz music, for example, like, would you ever sit and listen to some jazz? Like,
I have actually listened. I used to. I'm going to sound like an absolute weirdo here, right? But I I used to make like there's another one, a chef. So over the past like
I'd
year
love
and
to
a
just sit and say
half,
Craig Eddy's things that you're just going to nail. That'd be a good episode.
I'm not even exaggerating to you when I convinced myself, and then I started making because I'll go for the start as to why I went into wanting to be Chef Craig.
Is that with the name, Chef Craig?
Chef Craig, Well, I don't know. I could
okay, I
come up
don't
with
know. I don't know how far. I don't know how deep
the
you went
ginger
into
chef
this.
or something. It could be. So when I first came down with like my tinnitus and my hyperacusis and stuff, I went to the doctor, and I went to like a countless amount of like sort of ENTs and was looking online and stuff.
What's ENT? What's that like?
Ear, nose and throat specialist.
Right.
And I was told so many times that I was just pretty much fucked, and that I would never be able to like sort of do music again or go to any loud places or pretty much like do
It's pretty hard,
anything. So that's obviously extremely hard to be told when you're just going to somebody for help and they tell you like, we can't help you, we don't know how to help you. So that I freaked out, and that sent me into like quite a spiral for like maybe like 3 or 4 months. I was just like, my eyes were just so wired, like you could.
What do you mean?
Like that, my pupils were so dilated. I was in fight or flight pretty much. I was just so wired. I was so anxious, and I still get that now, but it's not as bad as it was because of the improvements that I've been making.
Yeah.
But so then I was like, nah. After about 3 or 4 months, I'm like, I can't just accept that this is how I'm going to live, and this is just what it is now. So now I started doing my research online, and I found that like diet and stuff, exercise, meditation, all these things can contribute towards like a decent tinnitus and hyperacusis recovery, which is obviously tinnitus is like the ringing and hissing in my ears. And
how bad is that then? How bad was it?
It was when it first started.
And how did it start? Sorry, I've got so many questions. Sorry.
That's all right. That started a year and a half ago, and I was in. I remember me, my mum, and my girlfriend at the time. Well, she's still she's my fiancée now, but like girlfriend. I'm just want to put that in there. So she'll watch this. She'll be like,
thrown to the boss with
girlfriend
all the time. I know, don't safe space here, man.
But she. What was I saying then again? So.
No, did you say the tinnitus and how it started? And it was
we went away to Alton Towers, and on that night in the hotel, I remember I got home, got into the hotel room, and I was like, my tinnitus is like, because I did have tinnitus when I was
on the roller coasters?
Aye.
Do you think maybe it's something to do with the...
I've honestly not got a clue at all. I did think...
That may be naive saying that, but do you know what I mean? Like, when you go down, you feel your ears popping and stuff,
I did think that, but I was like, God knows. But when I was like 18 or 20, like I went through a tinnitus episode, but it was more like a sort of moderate episode of tinnitus where like I could hear it in the house or when I was going to sleep. But then when I left the house, I couldn't hear it at all, pretty much. Whereas when I was in Alton Towers in the hotel that night, I remember just going to bed and I was like, well, my tinnitus is kind of getting a bit loud. Like I can hear it. It's the loudest it's kind of been. And then I fell asleep and then it woke me up at about 3 o'clock in the morning, just like a kettle like screaming.
Is that how you describe it?
In my ear.
Wow. That must be quite frightening, no?
It was real. I went into instant sort of panic, and it was almost like a.
And almost how long did it not stop? Just not stop?
No, it's not. It's never stopped since. But when it first came back, I was like, because I went through like the moderate tinnitus when I was like 18 to 20, and then it came back. I was like, it's back. And it felt like it was just back with a vengeance. And then I remember we were in a hotel when there was like traffic going past, and I was like, I can hear that above the traffic. Oh my God. And then the next again day we went to Alton Towers. It never really affected me that much. And then when I got home that night, I looked for it and I was like, there it is. Oh my God, this is so, so loud. It's never been this loud. And then I just got into like this hyper vigilant state where I left the house and I was like, just almost testing it and going like, right, what can I hear it above? And I was like, I can hear it above that. I can hear it above this. Oh my God, this is so loud. This is so loud. And I eventually just spiraled and spiraled and spiraled. And I just got to just, like, it was horrible. I've never been through anything like that or worse in my life. I think there's a lot of things worse than sort of, because you're trying to run for it, but you can't get away from it, and it's screaming at you. And then I developed the really bad hyperacusis, which makes sounds like painful. So any sounds going in, or like I couldn't do the dishes for a while, which was a good one, because I could like, Shanna, can I do the dishes? No, I'm joking, but like when I was doing the dishes, any clanking, I had to like go sit down, because it was like it almost
put you in a fear mode, that like waiting for things to noises, or
like the hyperacusis almost. It feels, I'm trying to explain it, but it's like, it's so hard to sort of, sorry, I've got a wee bit of a runny nose, just what it's called. I'm trying to explain it, but it's like almost like your ear is like, or if you've got a bruise and then you push it, and then you feel it, it's like, and it's almost like that in my right ear when there's certain sounds, or it's like it happens with like my own voice as well. If I laugh too loud or whatever, it's like so obviously when I was singing, it's not as bad as it was. I'm definitely improving, but it is like my ear is like bruised when I'm singing, and that's why whenever I'm singing now, I still need to sing with like either earplugs in or headphones in, because it sort of isolates my ears from my own voice, sort of thing.
And so have you tried noise? I mean, obviously, I'm just going to come in here and there's obviously a million things you've tried, right? But noise cancelling headphones and things like that, do they help you even? Like loops, what is it called?
You get
loops? Yeah,
that's what I've got too. So, but it's just a habit of know wearing them where you didn't need them, sort of thing. So I would only wear them in like actual loud places where I need them, because it's complicated. Because if you wear them when you didn't necessarily need to wear them, it can make you worse, because your brain's like, right, so we must need to protect against just normal sort of sounds. So and it sensitizes you even more. But as times went on, it's funny, because this all came from why I became Chef Craig. But I eventually started looking for like ways to help, and I was like, a big part of it was like the diet and stuff, and the exercise, meditation. So I've started doing like the 10K steps every single day, and I didn't have any sugar anymore, any processed food. It's all like, I'm on like a very strict, it doesn't feel strict to me now because I've been eating like it for so long, but it's like an animal based diet. So it's literally just like meat, eggs, butter and fruit, and sometimes raw milk, which is just pretty much.
So what's raw? Where do you get raw milk from, man?
You get it from like farms and stuff, so it's pretty much, it's not been like pasteurised or anything.
Or just
like
straight for the cow?
Just right for the tit. No, right for the tit. It's in a bottle when I get it.
Is it the old school milk bottles you're getting? With like metal lids?
It's quite mad. It feels quite primal. But
what's good about that then? What do they say is good about that?
So this is pretty much, this helps with sort of like inflammation, because you're eradicating like sugar and stuff, because you're taking away any processed stuff with any of the preservatives or chemicals. You're giving your body the best chance at sort of survival, and then the inflammation reduces, which then helps the nervous system, which is directly correlated, which I found with tinnitus, because a lot of ENTs and stuff will argue that tinnitus is just an ear problem, when I've really started to find that it's a brain problem, it's a nervous system problem, and since I started eating like that, it's just I started noticing improvements, and then every sort of thing that I started implementing, like the meditation, the 10K steps, eating well, just mindfulness and stuff, which I never thought that I would ever sort of properly get into. Everything's just started sort of gradually, very, very slowly improving.
Good.
And it's more like my reaction towards it than the actual sound itself. By that is what then got into me becoming Chef Craig, because I started making like the steaks every night, and I started making like obviously everything had to be from scratch, so I was buying like just whole foods, and I think I can't even remember how we got into that. It was like we were talking about like music, and then jazz. So this is why. So this is when I would listen to jazz. It's a long answer to get to that, but
I'm not asking you the rest of it.
Didn't ask me about any other genres. I'll tell you when I went to space. Oh no, I'm joking. So now I used to help sort of calm my nervous system whenever I'd made like a steak or whatever. I'd sit and eat it, but I'd put on jazz music and have like candles.
Okay, got you.
And I would just sit and eat it. It's like, honestly, it's like something off of American Psycho or something. If somebody walked in, they'd be maybe kind of on edge.
But the thing is, right, you're talking about it being a brain thing as well. It must be, because if it was just something to do with the ear, you'd think an operation could fix it then. Yeah.
Well, the fact that it fluctuates, like that's where like the sort of penny drop for me. The fact that it fluctuates is a direct sort of insight as to what it is, and it's just a brain thing, because if it was damaged, doesn't it sort of get worse one day then better? You didn't like damage,
Yeah, it must be another factor.
And I have completely found that, and now I've actually got myself to the point now where I can sing with headphones and earplugs in, and I've been writing so much, I've been working so much now.
Shows how much you love it though, buddy, because ultimately you're talking about doing something that in a sense hurts you sometimes or gives you a bit of fear, but the music must just have you that much, you just pushing on,
I think what happened is, and it's weird, because I kind of, if somebody was to tell me this like a year ago, that I would be looking at my tinnitus as like this was meant to happen, then I would be like, go away. But now I'm like, if my tinnitus and hyperacusis never hit, I wouldn't be meditating every day. I wouldn't be eating the way I am. I wouldn't love music as much as I love it now, because it gave me that chance to like miss it. Because for a while, I think just I never really knew who I was.
What age are you, Craig?
27.
27, right.
So I never knew what lane I wanted to go down in the music, or I was just I did lose my love for it quite a bit, and then my tinnitus came along, and then it stopped me from doing it. And over the past year and a half, it's made me realise that no, this is what
it's tested you. Then you would say,
it's like this is what I'm meant to be doing.
You really want it, well.
So it's been like it's been the best cruel lesson that I could have ever sort of had, because I've never been more optimistic or more passionate about music than I've ever been. Like I'm doing it all the time now. I've never been writing as much as I've been writing.
You're coming out with stuff next year, yeah?
Next year I think the plan is, so next year I think I've already got like 10 or 12 videos scheduled like on YouTube for like just to go up like every single week, and they're all like sort of like covers but like with my own spin on it. And I'm also going to be like simultaneously like pushing my own stuff as well, but no fully. But next year the plans is just to stay like, just because consistency is what I've been completely missing. Like I used to
sort of like the hardest bit of anything,
because I used to like upload for like 2 or 3 weeks, and I was like, right, nothing's happening, and it wasn't like a laziness thing. It was like a disheartened sort of like, nothing's happening. It's obviously no for me sort of thing. But I'm like, nah, 2 or 3 weeks is absolutely nothing. In the grand scheme of things, you need to be gone at this for 2, 3, 4 years before anything can start to properly take off. So the whole plan for next year is to get the weekly uploads, so the 52 videos throughout the entire year. And the reason why I'm scheduling them is because I'm also working on my own stuff for the full of 2026. And then 2027 is where I'm going to be starting to release my own songs like once every month, which is a really, really hard thing to do, because making music costs money and it takes a lot of time. So I think that is my best sort of plan of action, and I'm convinced. I've said that by 2035 I'll be headlining the Hydro. I'm so confident about that now, because it's
You got to make it. It's like Oasis song. You got to make it happen, right? But you do got to make it happen.
100%. I think now that I've got a plan, I can see the
If you
vision.
be a chef, right? You've been in space, right? What's the Hydro?
I suppose I could probably do everything. I could probably, like, I don't know, how could I do that? I could get folk on stage and then just cook a steak for them and then sing to them.
And is it YouTube you're going out through then? Is that a platform you're kind of going out?
YouTube will be the main one, and I'll be uploading to like Facebook and stuff as well, but YouTube is like the main one that I'm going to be trying to grow. And then just uploading, I think I'm just learning to sort of be myself a lot more in the sort of public eye kind of thing now, because before, I think with like The Voice and stuff, everybody just, the way that it was sort of portrayed, I was portrayed as this, and I did sort of, like it was, I don't know, like I
What do you mean?
I'm trying to sort of put it into words. I think I put myself across, like I am anxious, but I think I put myself across as just like the sort of vulnerable, anxious kind of guy. And then
maybe that's who you were at the time. I don't think you put yourself across, but you probably didn't sit on a bit of paper going, make sure I'm start shaking. Do you know what I mean? No, that's just probably who you were.
And I got into this really weird mindset for a while where I was like, if I ventured out of that sort of personality type or that sort of image, then people would start sort of disliking me.
Oh, so you felt like you fell into it, right?
I felt like it was weird.
Right.
Even though I am...
Is anybody talking to you to be like that? Do people say to you, this is
No, I just got in my own head. I know that sounds so weird, but like...
No, hey, listen, you live your life, that's what happened.
It was like, I almost had this... I got it into my head that like, right, people have this perception of me. So I'm like, I feel as if I come out and say that my anxiety's getting a wee bit better, then it's like, oh, I was faking it, or I don't know. I was. Yeah. You come in, it's like I was.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, you went through that and you won, right? And then so I suppose then you're thinking maybe you'll be looking at yourself in the mirror. You probably don't see what other people see in you. So do you know what I mean? So
I think so. And it was I got into this really.
What are you laughing for, Craig?
I know. I just got into this really weird. I don't know. It's hard to.
Aye, but what age were you then?
20. I would have been about 23.
Yeah, so you're still people even then you're still people trying to find their way about who they are as a person. You're talking about you being 27 now. Like I feel like I'm only comfortable now and I'm in my 40s, man.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I think it takes. I think that's the secret of life is you get older, you care less, and you're more comfortable with who you are. Eh?
Whereas I think I knew I'm like if I am having like an anxious day, or if I am having a good day or a bad day, I'm not going to try and hide it. I'm just gonna be me now, because it's just I feel as if that's what's missing for the music industry and just everywhere nowadays. It's just authenticity and just folk being themselves, whether it's the bad parts of them or the good parts of them. So
yeah, I'll tell you one thing, like I've said it a million times. I seen Susan Boyle on that stage sing that song. She didn't give a monkey's who she was, right? And you know what? That tore down everybody. There was no false pretense. This is me, and that's the most beautiful thing you can do is just be you. Do you know what I mean? Because they just folk are like maybe even they're frightened. I'm like, oh, he's got the balls to actually be himself. So just be you, man.
100%, man.
Take it easy, Craig. Thank you,
my man. Thank you very much.